All right. Let's go look at some trade values. Let's go look at some trade values. Or we can go to proposed trade instead. That's fine. Sure. First and foremost, is there a market for Travis Sanheim? JG Pajot. It's wonderful. Wonderful. Flyers fans would kill me if I traded Provorov, I'm sure. Mangiapane as an RFA. A third rounder and Milan Lucic. Pavelski and Nedeljkovic. So we know where Pavelski ended up. O'Rourke, Zuccarello in a second. And Minnesota really wants to get rid of Zuccarello. I'm gonna say Jackets, what's happening? Brock Nelson. Mark Scheifele. I'm gonna guess they butchered Mark Scheifele's morale because he was a fourth liner for them last year. Oh yeah, they have completely tanked Mark Scheifele's value. It's worth keeping an eye on. For the moment, though, we want to focus on forwards and two of our vets. Atkinson or Lawton. Lawton has a lot more trade value at this stage of the game. Second and a third, second and a third, second and a third. Zuccarello a third and a sixth. Second and a third, Troy Stetcher. All right, so basically the number 2 second-round picks from Vancouver for Scott Lawton. What's out there for Atkinson? Looks like Scott Lawton's the one that's getting traded. As much as I'd like to keep him, it looks like he's the guy getting dealt. Does Vancouver actually have space for Scott Lawton before we send him there? That's the question. That's their top 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They don't. They don't. It would just make their logjam of talent worse. Like something like Jasek's already getting screwed. He was AHL Player of the Year and now he's still stuck in the minors. Yeah. They might take away like Höglander's spot instead of Dowling's like they should. So yeah, I don't feel comfortable doing that to them. That's a dumb move on their part. We'll save them from themselves. So we'll save them from themselves. I don't like ripping off the AI. Montreal and the New York Islanders for that second and third. Bunch of second and third options. We don't have space for Zook at all. Obviously, sending him west would be for the best. So Nashville, Dallas, or Arizona. What about Nashville? They made the playoffs, I do believe, last season. Does Nashville have space for Scott Lawton? Wow, Evangelista, holy shit. That's their top 9. Nashville doesn't have space either. What about Dallas? Okay, that's a little bit better. Dallas definitely has some space. Yeah, they're looking at running guys like Antonio Stranges, Tyler Mott. They have space. Wow, they have butchered Tyler Seguin. He's down to a 76. Jesus. What the hell are they doing in Dallas? They also ended up with Brett Leeson. Dallas, there's certainly more of an argument. And that's what Arizona looks like now. Aha! Well, Dallas it is then. Dallas it is. Not that I want to necessarily get rid of Scott Lawton, but again, we don't really have space for him. He's got to go. We'll send him to Dallas for a second and a third. Second this year, third next year. Scott Lawton, on the move to the Dallas Stars. Had to be done. He will not be the last that we have to get rid of here, unfortunately. He will not be. Get a nice morale crisis going on the team right before the start of the season. Let's see. So Lawton is gone. We got Lindbaum, Hayes, JVR as the third line, potentially. And then fourth liners, Lord knows we have options. Lashinsky, also a borderline call-up. Say we were to send Marco Rossi down for the year. Got 5 people who are good enough for this job. So Bunneman, 24 in a medium. Cates is 24 in a medium bottom 6. I'm thinking Cates is immediately out. Frost is still a medium top 6. Greenway's a high 9. And then Wade Allison. So Cates is definitely out. Comes down to Greenway or Bunneman on that fourth line. And I'm going to go with Jordan Greenway. So our forward core this year is shaping up to be that. Giroux, Couturier, Atkinson. Well, Farabee prefers to be a top liner, actually, so maybe not. I don't hate that. Farabee, Couturier, Atkinson. Might even go Konechny. Giroux, Forster, Atkinson. Lindblom, Hayes, JVR. Greenway, Frost, Allison. That's not that bad. Tyson Forster took a gigantic step up, so he's just ready to go now, which is awesome. Obviously, on the defensive side, we still have to make a change or two. But the NHL lines, for the forwards at least, are looking pretty damn good. So a couple other trades then that I would like to explore. Let's see what's out there. So Connor Bunneman, any market for you? 6th and 7ths, pretty much galore. Pretty much send you wherever. Yeah, it's just like nothing but 6th and 7ths. Jesus. Let's send you to Calgary. Why not? 6th and 7th, Connor Bunneman. He's off to Calgary. Thought the game broke there for a second. You never know. It's tough to say goodbye to certain players, but we got to do it. Let's see. So Bunneman was gone. It was going to be Jackson Cates next to see if he has any value. He does. Multiple 7ths seems to be the going rate. We'll send you to the Carolina Hurricanes. Why not? That way he can kick our ass in a few seasons if he makes their team. We also had... What are we looking for here? There was somebody else. We were looking at Lashinsky, Rossi. No, we're good, actually. Okay. Now the defensive setup. As much as I love Urho Vakanainen, I mean, he can play the right, so that saves him. Sanheim, Provorov, York, Lambos. One of them has to go. The market for Sanheim is Wallstead and Zuccarello, neither of whom really do anything for us. The market for Provorov, again, was Mangiapane, Lucic, Pavelski, Nedeljkovic, and Zuccarello, Addison in a second, Anders Lee and Varlamov. And again, Mark Scheifele out there, but that would force a pretty crazy trade. What's the market for Cam York, who I really don't want to get rid of? Mangiapane in a second. That doesn't help either. RFA Fiala. Yeah, I'm not too happy with any of those. So that kind of leaves Carson Lambos. It was a big part of the Giroux acquisition. Get Braden Tracy in a 5th. Henry Tharoon in a 2nd. 2nd and 3rd. John Beecher in a 3rd. Jeremy Poirier a 4th and 6th. Miroshnichenko from Calgary. Minnesota's willing to part with basically every prospect under the sun. Matt Robertson, Rucker McGroarty. I really don't want to do a deal with the Rangers. Frank Nazar, Zach Dean, Daniil Shaka. What are we looking at with Poirier or Miroshnichenko? A deal with Calgary might not be that bad. If Poirier is a righty, and he's not, he would have been perfect. Now, Calgary did just draft Miroshnichenko. I mean, this is who we probably would have drafted had we kept our original pick. Another power forward, fast. I do like Carson Lambos, but if I want to try to stick to playing people within their position, which is how the fucking AI should be programmed to set up their team, it makes the game a lot more fun. Then yeah, lefty, I mean, it's Sanheim, York, Provorov on the left. Lambos the odd man out. We bring in another forward. And then the right-hand side will be Ellis, Vakanainen, and somebody else. And I'm not sure who. Just kind of with the limitations of what I have for the setup here, I think we're going to do this. It kind of sucks to miss out on a player like Carson Lambos, but I think we got to do it. So, done deal with Calgary. We'll move on from Lambos. And we will... look to call somebody else up. We have a real short... Oh my god, we have like no right-handed defenseman at all. Jesus. Jesus. Alright. 10, 11, 12. Gotta get rid of a depth forward or two here. We need room for some defense on this team. Like I said, it kind of snuck up on me. I guess now we actually do have some exemptions. Who can I get rid of here? I guess holding on to guys like Matthew Strome turned out to be a bad idea. Can't get anything for Woman. Let's just see if there's room. Let me see if there's room to sign a couple of right-handed shots. So the big question is, if I can go to the right menu. I can go to the right menu. Who's out there? Now, RFA-wise, again, I'd love to be in for one of those guys. That's just not going to happen. UFA-wise, Ronnie Hirvonen is out there. As is Theodore Niederbach, Lungman. I mean, Nickel is a right defender as well. I find it laughable JVR is pissed at you. I mean, hey, I deserve it. We are probably going to look at signing some of those defenders, but first and foremost, we're boned, first and foremost. Shout out to the Bruins that just tied it against the Ducks. Leafs legend Brennan Manel. Frederic Ellard. Taylor Fadoon's available. Former Seattle Thunderbird. Austin Strand. Yeah, why is JVR so pissy? Alex Biega. Joe Dujak. Madison Bowie. Petri and Limbaugh. Big Kurt. Bringing Curtis McDermott as an enforcer. That's actually a hell of an idea. 100% signing Curtis McDermott. And let's also... We'll go for Brennan Manel. And Austin Strand. Just to get some right-handed shots on this team. And a couple of forwards that I want to ditch. I'm not going to bother with the trade finder, but we just have to get rid of a couple of forwards. We have too many. There are good prospects out there. I'm not going to let them go to waste. So Willman, Zach McEwen, Patrick Brown, Tanner Lashinsky, and Yeah, let's just go with those 4. Anybody interested in any of these boys? Anybody at all? Does anybody have the space? Colorado has 33 players under contract. They have no cap space. I can't wait to see what their team looks like. Can I get a second for all of this? Cool. And they said it was a sweet proposal, so there you go. Yeah, done deal. That gets Colorado some much-needed depth. I honestly didn't think they were going to accept that, but what are you going to do? So we get those right-handed shots in there. And then forward-wise, let's just save Ronnie Hirvonen, Theodore Niederbach, Timo Nickel. We did, in fact, just get a second-round pick for trash, and I feel bad about it. But at the same time, that'll be the one trade where I say, fuck it. I genuinely didn't think they were going to accept it. But the AI have mismanaged the Avalanche so badly that they had to go for it. So Nickel, Lungman, McDermott, Strand, Benell, Niederbach, Hirvonen, owner goals. Let's finally establish what this team's going to look like, and then we'll take a look around the league. So our defense. Brennan Manel will potentially get the call up. I honestly might start off the season with Curtis McDermott, also known as Kermit, on that right-hand side. I think we start the season with an enforcer who says no. And then for our forwards, we're looking okay. So if we go one more time with our best lines here, again, I want Farabee over Giroux. That's, wow, I didn't think Tyson Forster. Okay, well, I guess it's going to be Farabee, Forster, Konechny, Giroux, Couturier, Atkinson. Which is hilarious, but it's possible. Lindbaum, Hayes, and JVR, Greenway, Frost, and Allison. Defense is going to be Sanheim, Ellis, Provorov, Vakanainen. Isn't going to happen. Because it's going to be Provorov and McDermott, York and Vakanainen. Curtis McDermott, third pair? Nah, second pair defenseman. Curtis McDermott. I expect no less than 40 fights this season. Thank you very much. We are actually going to start off the season like that. Because we're here to meme. We are here to meme. German Rubtsov will be our healthy scratch. And Brennan Manel will be the other healthy scratch. Beautiful. Honestly, I might just have Austin Strand kind of hang around too. Because we have plenty of AHL depth. So in the AHL, needless to say, this team just changed quite a bit. It's Ustamenko and Ursan with Scott Darling. Seattle Kraken legend, that's right. Let's see. Zek is a high AHL top 2. So Cooper. You're the first man out for Emile Andre. Sam Morin can obviously be a depth defender. And Hogberg, despite the fact... Nope, okay, Hogberg does get to play. Cool beans. Well, there you go. That's our AHL defense. It's not that bad. Unless we wanted to get Andre on a higher line with, like, Wyatt Wiley. I mean, it does make more sense to have those two play more than everybody else. Yeah, we'll go for that. And then forward-wise in the AHL, we do have some damn good young talent here. Shushko's 23. I actually traded too many depth on. Where the hell? Like, somehow I always end up with, like, having nobody. I go from having everybody on the team to nobody on the team. Now I need another depth forward or two. How the hell did that happen? It doesn't make sense. This shit doesn't make sense. Oh, God. We'll put Lungman on the 4th line and get Matthew Strome in there. How did I go from having all the depth to none of the depth? I don't understand. I don't understand how that happened. And see, yeah, now it's a 48 contracts again, yet I have no depth. I don't understand. I simply don't understand. Where the hell are these mythical, magical contracts? I'm so confused. Is it because I have too many defenders now? Or, like, what the hell? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I only have like one more defenseman than I would possibly need. This doesn't make sense because if they're in junior, they're exempt. But like nobody's in junior except for Tuamala. I don't even know. I don't even know. It's fine. If we need AHL forward depth, they'll get signed later on. Screw it. I don't know how the hell we managed to do this though. Before we finalize this team for the start of the regular season, you know what must happen. Claude Giroux, once again, the captain of this team. Provorov can suck it. Travis Sanheim's getting a letter. And so, is Sean Couturier. I was going to give it to JVR to try and cheer him up, but for whatever reason, he's just a miserable old bastard anyway. He's just a miserable son of a bitch. And no matter what we do, it's not going to matter. No matter what we do, it's not going to matter. So our team is set. The question is, what the hell does everyone else look like? These are your Anaheim Ducks for 2022-23. Milano Zegras Terry, Burakovsky, Henrik Perreault, Raffle, McTavish, Comtois, Lundstrom, Steele, Silfverberg. Zegras now an 88, Terry a 90. Defense, Fowler, Letang. Larson, Drysdale, Mahura, Shattenkirk. Goalie is Gibson and Stolars. Gibby back up to an 89. Manson, Giroux, and Strahlman as the scratches. Arizona, Wright, Kadri, Keller. Swamainen, Schmaltz, Genther, Krause, Hayton, Kane, Richie, Ennis, Jaskin. They're going to win the Stanley Cup. Look at that right wing depth and center depth. For the also, Lawson Krause up to an 86. Jesus Christ. The defense, Chikrin, Gostisbehere, Moser, Soderstrom, Dineen, and Timmins. Goalie is Brossois and Tarasov. Mayo, Dugan, Sorella as the scratches. Arizona's fixed in one season. Boston is DeBrusk, Marchand at center, and Pasternak. Stashny, oh my god, get that fucking moron off of my team. Trent Frederick and Craig Smith. Hall, Steen, and Dustin Brown. Sanford, Johansson, and Coyle. Big garbage. Big garbage, that lineup. Good God. Defense is Riley McAvoy, Grizzly Carlo, Clifton, and Zaboro. Goalie is Swayman and Olmark. Frederick on the second line. He's been on the second line in real life. Halla, Edler, Forbert. Nice little $3 million to Derek Forbert just sitting there. Buffalo, Ruotsalainen, Krebs, and Tuck. Cousins, Middlestat, Skinner, Gergensons, Thompson, Bjork, Asplund, Cousins, Monahan. Just put Asplund and Monahan on the third line and you'd look incredible. Holy shit. Defense, Darlene Pietrangelo, Bryson Braun, Power, and Yoki Haru. So Owen Power has made the team heading into Season 2. Goalie is Holtby and Georgiev. Holy shit, Buffalo and Arizona have both just completely turned it around. Scratches of Russell, Donato, and Mackenzie McEachern. A lot of changes. Carolina, Jarvis, Aho, Natchez, Svechnikov, Drury Teravainen, Stahl, Kotkaniemi, Foss, Lizotte, Appleton, Stepan. Jack Drury, second line center. Defense, Slavin, Pesci, Giordano, D'Angelo, Stahl, and Bear. Goalies, Ranta and Anderson, still the duo. Scratches of Honka, Keane, and Brady Shea. Nice $5 million of Brady Shea just sitting there. Love to see it. CBJ is Line A, Sillinger, Bjorkstrand, Nyquist, Jenner, Voracek, Chinnikov, Corrali, Raquel, Tessier, Bemstrom, and Ryan Strome. That lineup has an incredible amount of depth. Defense is Werenski, Boqvist, Gavrikov, Bean, Butcher, Peak. Goalie is Merzlikins and Kimo Nidimaki. 5th round pick, goalie. Straight to the NHL. Sturm, Rosovich, Barabanov as the scratches. Because who needs a goalie when you can have all that depth? You know. $3 million, almost $4 of Ryan Strome on the 4th line. Who needs a backup goalie? Calgary is Goodrow, Lindholm, Palat. What did Andre Palat sign for? Coleman, Kachuk, Dubé. Dylan Dubé literally plays center. Why would you not put Dylan Dubé at center and Kachuk on the wing? Fuck. Like, Boston, I guess I understand, but, you know, if you played Coyle at center, you'd be fine. Toffoli, Getzlaff, and Sammy Blais, Lucic, Backlund, and Ilya Mikheyev. Defense, Hanifin, Tanev, Sheelington, Anderson, Valimaki, and Cole. Goalie, Markstrom, and Vladar. Scratches of Carlson, Sekera, and Carson. Oh, Carson, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I traded you there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oof. Oof. Broncos, what's up? Chicago hockey team. DeBrincat, Doc, and Kane. Nichushkin, Taves, and Hagel. Kubalik, Borgstrom, Connolly, Kurashev, Entwistle, and Johnson. I probably did ruin Lambos' career. Defense, Stillman and Murphy, Jones and Jones. The first brother pairing, the first pair of siblings to ever play together. Ever. Did you know that? Badan and Benning. Goalies, Drew Comesso and Arvid Soderblom. Soderblom knows how fucked up it is. Look at his face. Scratches of Hardman, Mitchell, and Barrett. We traded Lambos because I tried to make sure people play in their natural position. We had too many left defensemen. Again, I like the challenge of it. Colorado, Newhook, McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog, Bergeron, Spezza. Oh, Bellows, Comfer, Obey, Kubel, Jost, Boyd, Okposo. Defense is Taves, Makar, Gerard, Byram, Hellison, and Eric Johnson. Goalie is Marc-Andre Fleury and Eustace Anuin. Maltsev, O'Connor, Lashinsky as the scratches. Dallas is Robertson, Hintz, and Sam Carrick. Peterson, Stranges, Gurionov, Mott, Ben Sagan, Faxa, Lawton, Yamamoto. Boy, if only badges mattered, Stranges wouldn't be on that line, would he? Could have sworn I gave him spin cycle though. Fog of War is not on though, so I don't understand what's happening. Huh. Regardless, horrible line combinations. Sorry, Scott. Defense, Haskinen, Klingberg, Lindell, Green, Harley, and Hanley. Harley and Hanley. Goalie is Ottinger and Hedobin. Delandria, Leeson, Jankowski as the scratches. Detroit, Verona, Larkin, Raymond, Bertuzzi, Berggren, Zadina, Rasmussen, Veleno, Smith, Ernie, Pilon, and fourth line right wing, Joe Pavelski. Boy, yeah, they really make sure to prioritize those X factors, don't they? They sure do. That's totally the reason why. Yep. I won't let that go, by the way. I won't let that go. They need to fix the coaching, for the love of God. You're going to hear me say that for the rest of the year, because it comes very close to ruining the experience, all things, truth be told. It does make it very difficult to pay attention to this game and care about it when you see this shit. Vero and Sider, McIsaac and Ronick, Barton and Lindstrom. Go with all the young guys, Stevie. Go with all the youngsters. At least Moritz Sider's unbelievable. Goalies, Kemper and... Why? Why would you sign Kemper? Do you not think that Pia Suter and Robbie Fabry are healthy scratches? Making about $8 million combined. While Adam Ernie, Garrett Pilon, and fucking Giovanni Smith at a 73 are all on the line. It's terrible. Oh my God. It just gets worse every time you look at AI teams. Edmonton is Draisaitl, McDavid, Puljujarvi, Nugent Hopkins, Borgo, and Hyman. Paul, McLeod, Ryan, Parise, Rooney, Janmark. Defense, Nurse, Bouchard, Suter, Barry, Keith, and Cuckoo. That makes sense. Goalies, Allen and Stuart Skinner. Scratches of Ryan Murray. Panthers, Huberdeau, Barkov, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Lundell, and Duclair. Denisenko, Nash, Hornqvist, Luotz-Derainen, Bennett, Lemico. Why would Bennett be behind Riley Nash? Because this game sucks. Defense, Uyghur and Ekblad, Forsling and Gudas, Sherratt and Ruda. Goalies, Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight. Carlson, Tippett, Montour. Currently scratched. Kings have Iafallo, Byfield, and Anderson Dolan. Kopitar, Madden, Arvidsson. Deno, Larson, and Velarde. Athanasiou, Kempe, and Kaliev. Jesus. Like, that's just a disaster. Like, why? So many centers. Kopitar's on the wing. Again, this is why coaches need to value overall and player positions. Because that way, when they build their teams, they realize, oh, I have 7,000 centers. Maybe I shouldn't trade for Johan Larsson. Or if I do, I play him on the wing instead of having 93 faceoffs on Anze Kopitar on the left wing. Like, you can factor in coaching strategies, and that's fine, but it is skewed far too incorrectly. Like, it needs to be, in terms of how I would like to see it prioritized. Overall and position, like, dead even. Make sure people are playing in their listed position, please. Along with the higher overall guys up there. And then, if it makes sense to be like, oh, and let's look at a better team. Let's look at a better example here. I mean, God, even that's not a great example. Like, if it makes more sense, like, okay, Reinhardt is an 88, but there's no pluses. Duclair is an 84, but it makes the line a +5. Then put Duclair on the top line. But unless there's that evening out, it shouldn't be happening. And again, obviously Reinhardt being above him is the point, but you get the point with how I'm mentioning other teams. Their defense is Anderson Doughty, Bjornfoot, and Dursey, Oli Levy, and Brant Clark. Goalies, Peterson and Quick bounced back up to an 89. Gotta love the morale system. Matt Roy, Lyubushkin, and Sean Walker as scratches. So why sign Lyubushkin? You have 3 right defensemen just fucking sitting there. Why? Minnesota, the defending Stanley Cup champions. Kaprizov, Kuznetsov replaces Giroux and Matt Boldy. Foligno, Zuccarello, Beckman. Okay. Cogliano, Eriksson, Hartman, Dewar, Gaudreau, Amadio. Why Adam Beck? See, this is what I'm talking about. There was no reason why that second line should not be Foligno, Eriksson, and Zuccarello. Do I play Hutt? I'd rather die. There's your answer. And that third line, no reason why it should not be, once Eriksson on the second line with Zuccarello, Gaudreau, Hartman, and then Beckman. That would make sense. Beckman's a lefty. Fourth line, Amadio at center with fucking Cogliano and Dewar. Play one of them on the off wing. It doesn't take the human brain to realize what the best option should be. Defense is Brodin, Spurgeon, Dahan, Dumba, Kulikov, and Kalen Addison. Goalies, Talbot bounced to an 89, for God's sakes, with Capo Kakinen. Merrill, first off, and Ben. And again, AI management of prospects needs to be better. If you're not going to play first off, put him in the goddamn AHL. Like, it's just the AI are so You know, if you're not going to fix it, give me the ability to control every AI team. Within franchise, give me the ability to control every single team. I think that is the only way I would have fun this year. Is if it let me control every team. In free agency, I just let it do its thing, essentially, and then fix it every year to have the lines make sense. Or at least let the AI do what they want, but then I can take control and let the lines make sense. Like, it's brutal. Montreal, Lehkonen, Suzuki, Caulfield, Hoffman, Pitlick, Ylonen, Byron, Evans, Gallagher, Armia, Dvorak, and Anderson. There's no reason why Ylonen should be on the second line. There's no reason why Evans should be ahead of Dvorak. Defense, Romanov, Petrie, Edmondson, Ceci, LOL, Kale Clegg and David Savard. Goalies Price and Primo. Paling, Ruzicka. Again, put Ruzicka in the fucking minors if you're not going to play him. And Jonathan Drouin is a scratch. New Jersey, Holtz, Heischer, Mercer. Brooks, Hughes, and Ekblad, who was drafted. Bratt, Bastian, Tatar, Kajula, Zaka, and Sutter. No reason to not have Zaka over Bastian at all. Defense, Siegenthaler, Stevenson, Graves, Hamilton, Smith, and Stetcher. Goalies, Bernier, Blackwood. Sharangovich, Boakfist, Janssen as the scratches. So why sign Brandon Sutter if you already have Sharangovich? Where's the AI logic in that? Why sign Brandon Sutter? They did not fucking need him. Preds are Forsberg, Duchesne, Jeannot, Tolvin and Tomasino Kunin, Trennan, Sissons, Evangelista, Yarncroke, Granlund, and Olofsson. Why is Granlund on the fourth line? Why is Yarncroke on the fourth line? I mean, Olofsson I can understand, I guess. I mean, he's only a third liner. Defense is Yossi Carrier, Ekholm, Fabro, Myers, and Schultz. Goalies Saros and Ingram. Sprong, Glass, and Ryan Johansson as scratches. $8 million of Ryan Johansson, and they just have him sitting there. Why would you not have the AI buy him out? Islanders, Lee, Barzell, Wallstrom, Bavillia, Nelson, Lettieri, Cizikas, O'Reilly, Pajot, Panik, True, and Palmieri. I don't know how the hell they ended up with Ryan O'Reilly. Again, they're tanking Kyle Palmieri. I don't know why the fuck they're playing Vinny Lettieri. Well, the badges, they both have badges. And Palmieri's higher than a 79. They've just tanked his value. Crazy center depth, though. Also, Pajot, for fuck's sakes, being played on the wing. Instead of Brock Nelson, who can actually play the wing. So the real lineup should be Brock Nelson on the third line. Pajot at second line center. Like, it's just... Defense is Pelican, Pollock, Salo, Dobson, Zadorov, and Mayfield. Zadorov would be such a good Islander. Goalies Sorokin and Varlamov. Ishikov, Josh Bailey, again, at least for Kyle Palmieri, at least he's getting played. They just don't play Josh Bailey at all. At all. But Richard Panik's in the lineup. Rangers, Lafreniere, Zibanejad, Kako, Kreider, Hedel, Panarin, Gauthier, Barron, Kravtsov, Hunt, Goodrow, and Pajaniemi. That's not bad. Obviously, it's not bad. I mean, you know, it's not out of the question to have Panarin and Kreider on the second line. It's not. You know, it's almost like a Crosby thing, where Malkin would play with Kessel and the higher-rated guys, but then Zibanejad, it's like, okay, here's your Crosby, so play Kako and Lafreniere, and it's fine. The defense, Lindgren and Fox, Cholowski, Trouba, Miller, and Lundqvist. Goalie, Shesterkin and Dylan Garand. Why did you sign him? Why did you sign him if you're going to play Kravtsov and Pajaniemi over him? Pajaniemi is a depth forward. Kravtsov is a third. Why? Why? Julien Gauthier is a fourth liner. So is Dryden Hunt. Why? Fuck's sake. $4 million for 3 years, and he's fucking scratched on opening night. Meanwhile, they have a 70 rated backup. Holy shit, dude. It's only March. How the fuck am I going to make it to the end of this year playing NHL? I'm not going to be able to. I'm just not. I'm just not going to be able to. I'm gonna have to take a break from franchise and just go back to playing the older stuff. Go back to just other options like NHL 04 rebuilds out there. People have wanted me to play that for a while. I got a PC that can handle it. And instead I'm just banging my fucking head against the wall here. Sucks, yeah, I could simply not look at the lines, but the problem is then it just pisses me off to know that it's just garbage. It's like, okay, I'm trying to put a tarp over this fucking trash heap known as NHL 22. FHM's another option that's out there. That has some of its own issues, but still, Jesus Christ, at least I feel like... Ottawa, Stutzla, Norris, and Batherson. Marchment, Blackwell and White. Kachuk, Trocheck, Nemestikov, Formanton, Stahl, and Brown. Why the fuck is Formanton on the fourth line instead of Mason Marchment? Defense is Shabbat, Brandstrom, Holden, Zub, Mete, and Thompson. Goalies, Murray and Gustafson. Scratches, McDonald and Delzato. Pittsburgh, Gensel, Carter, and Rust. Puistinen, Crosby, Nylander. McGinn, Bluger, Rodriguez, Zucker, Kapanen, and Grimaldi. I mean, you could have Kapanen and Zucker as your second line with Crosby, but sure. Defense, Matheson, Marino, Joseph, and PK Subban. $4 million still. Dumoulin and Ruedel. Goalies, Jari and Lindbergh. Scratches, Friedman, Murray, and Marcus Pettersson. Oof. Kraken hey, look at that. They should have done that in the first place. Domi, Gordon, Eberle, Wenberg, McCann, Tanev, Schwartz, Beniers, Vetrano, Radulov, Raskin, Donskoy. That's certainly not the most egregious lineup in the world. Defense is McCabe, Alexiak, Dunn, Larson, Fleury, and Goligoski. Goalie-wise, Grubauer and Jack Campbell. Only $5 million for the year. I don't know why they do that, but sure. Kulak and Soucy. I mean, they could have gone for a big name forward, but okay. Instead, let's sign Victor Rask. Sharks have Meyer, Hurdle, and Eklund. What did Hurdle sign for? $8 million for 7 years. Dahlin, Couture, Shemilevsky, Balsers, Aridi, and Cardwell. Nieto, Clutterbuck, and Kevin LeBanc. Yeah, who needs actual centers? The defense, Ferraro, Carlson, Shimmick, Burns, Middleton, Pissick. Goalies, Reimer and Hill. Scratches, Vlasic and John Leonard. St. Louis Blues, Perron, Thomas, Kyrou, Bushnevich, Shen, Saad, Kostin, Barbashev, Sevier, Neighbors, Brown, and Tarasenko still on the fourth line. Below Colton Sevier. Fucking this game is trash sometimes. Defense is Lindholm, Parayko, Krug, Falk, Mikkola, and Colin Miller. The goalies, Binnington and Grice. Scandella and Bortuzzo, both scratched. Tampa is Sorelli, Point, Kucherov, Kaloran, Stamkos, Colton, Kachuk, Belmar, Joseph, Benson, Wood, and Perry. Defense, Hedman, Chernak, McDonough, Sergachev, Mata, and Foote. The goalies. Vasilevsky, Riddick, Barry Boulet, Gustafson, and Demers. So, it's you know, we're beyond the point of depression by the time we get to Toronto. Toronto is Nylander, Matthews, Marner, Bunting, Bonino, Robertson, Aston Reese, Tavares, Lazar, Kerfoot, Camp, Simmons. I mean, they're playing John Tavares on the second line, or the third line when he should be on the second, and they're killing his overall. Defense, Sandin, Brody, Riley, Hall, Muzzin, Liljegren. Goalies, Rich. Appreciate it. Wall and Kallgren are the goaltenders. Anderson, Kasha, and a scratched Travis Dermott. Oh, boy. Vancouver, Garland, Pettersson, Poltkolzin, Höglander, Horvat, Besser, Pearson, Miller, and Achari. Jasic, Dickinson, and Bjorkstad. Defense, Hughes and Myers, Ekman, Larson, Hamonic, Rathbone, and Pullman. The goalies are Halak and Demko still. Shen, Ristolainen, and Chara. Oh, excuse me. Got to give Risto that second year, you know? Gotta give him that 2-year. I mean, they could have played a game already. It's just Demko isn't starting the first game. He's obviously going to be their starter. Golden Knights, Pacioretty, Eichelstone, Marchessault, Malkin, Hinostroza. What even is cap space? Carrier, Carlson, Brisson, Stevenson, Patrick, Dadonov. Yeah, there you go. Just fuck over Chandler Stevenson. That's fine. Defense, Theodore Whitecloud, McNabb, Haig, Martinez, and Brendan Smith. Goalies, Leonard and Logan Thompson. They signed and scratched Phil Kessel, and they have Nick Waugh scratched as well. Winnipeg, Connor, Wheeler, Ehlers, Kopp, Perfetti, Dubois, Perreault, Lowry, third line fucking winger Mark Scheifele, even though Cole Perfetti fucking plays the wing. So does Blake Wheeler. Why would you not have Dubois, Scheifele? Fuck. Defense is Schmidt, Pionk, Morrissey, DeMello, Stanley, and Kukin. Goalies, Hellebuck and Arvid Holm. Dylan, Svechnikov, and Leddy as the scratches. Nice 3-year deal for Nick Leddy. And Washington, Ovechkin. Oh my fucking god. Ovechkin, LaPierre, Oshie, Sherry, McMichael, Niederreiter, Mantha, Backstrom, Wilson, Hagelin, Kuznetsov, and Dowd. The defense, Orlov, Carlson, TVR, Jensen, Fehérváry, Goodbranson, Samsonov, and Vanacek. The goalies, Osterley, Anderson, Eller. Pest scratches. I dislike this game vehemently.